What up, Block fam? Welcome to the episode. This is a big one. This is a very big episode. We've been waiting for a while actually, to announce this one to you guys. This is part of the bike build-off that we're doing. So my 2024 Harley-Davidson Road Glide sitting over there. We've got some parts that we are manufacturing for it, and this is the announcement episode. Joining me in this episode, Block team. We've got Amanda.
We were having lunch, actually. Yeah.
Justin, Chris. Who would like to do the honors of opening this box? Big announcement.
Bring them energy from
Ridiculous.
I really hope that works.
We got it open.
This is a pretty large box. You want to lift that up for me real quick and tell me how heavy it is? Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Is that pretty heavy or?
Ah, man.
In the comments below, before we reveal it to you guys, it's probably in the title. But if it's not, post your comments. Guess what it is?
Did everybody guess?
You're a road glad now. Just like you guys are seeing it for the first time, we are seeing it for the first time right now as well.
It looks good.
Yeah, that's crazy how lightweight this thing is. We are still waiting on a few more pieces, but we'll update you in a second on those. But this is one of the main pieces that we've been waiting for in production of our carbon fiber. What else is in the box?
Fender deal.
What is it?
Smooth the edges are.
One of those attentions to detail that we wanted to pay attention to. Let's go ahead and unbox the rest of it though, show you guys what else we got.
Yes.
I think we're gonna run out of room on this little table.
Yep.
All right, what else is in the box?
Oh, let's see. Ooh. You're a Fender.
Running out of room.
I think there's.
I think we got what, one more piece?
Yeah. Ooh. Nice.
Is that it?
I think so. What? Nope. Just kidding.
There's more.
There's more?
There it is. Hidden down there. Ooh. Nice.
Little dash panel. If you guys order this, it's gonna show up in more boxes than that. To be totally transparent, we put stuff back in the boxes in between the edits. So all that stuff did not come in that one box. It will come in more boxes. So that is currently what we have ready. We are working on the last few pieces for this, which would be the bottom parts of these. So you've got the bag lids. We're working on the bags. The molds for these have been kind of a learning process and like what nets the best results. After the mold process, CNC trimmed, so the edges are super clean. The fitment is OEM. You're gonna have all of your stock mounting options or mounting areas for damn near all of it. So the rear fender here, we've got, you know, the bolts made into the carbon. So this is what we're currently offering for the Blockhead carbon fiber. Now, why are we entering this market? You guys are probably asking yourself. One of the things that we wanted to do is deliver quality products across the board. So we've got like our Blockhead exhaust sitting right here. We teamed up with manufacturer in perfecting that. We're further continuing development on the manufacturing side with them. We're doing that with our detailing line of stuff, and now we're doing that with carbon fiber. The reason that we've chosen to enter the carbon fiber market is because of our experience in building motorcycles with carbon. An example, we've got Bert's tank build over here, and this bike is damn near all carbon. Carbon fender, carbon bags, let's see, carbon. So it's great for performance, and we're building a lot of performance bikes here. And the reason we chose to go into this market is because a lot of the carbon that we work with, us being here at a shop, we see all sorts of different manufacturers, and their quality wasn't quite up to snuff for us. Fitment would be a little weird. Having to take a brand new carbon piece and drill it or take a Dremel to it sucks, because it's expensive. It is expensive. It's not cheap. And the reason it's expensive is because of all the hours that go into making it. These things are supposed to fit from the manufacturer. And so in that Bert's build, Chris had to go to some extensive lengths.
Had to drill and cut, and a lot of things had to happen, and that shouldn't have had to happen. Nothing fits right. I don't want to critique it too bad, but even right down to the fender alignment.
If you were paying like those prices, you would expect to get it and for it to fit right up.
I want it to fit. I want it to look like it was machine stamped. The bends are equal. I wish I had a competitor here to hold up. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I'm good at critiquing and try to be pretty equal about it. This is pretty rigid. The lines are clean. They're even cuts. I know that sounds like I'm selling it because it's part of our brand, but I don't think I would get behind it if it wasn't.
So it's one of the things whenever you are handling this stuff, you know, you can feel the quality of it. So not all carbon is created equal. Some companies, they use fiberglass in their carbon fiber. If you're including fiberglass in your carbon fiber, I wouldn't even count that as carbon fiber anymore, because you're literally adding a material, fiber shell base layer, and then they'll put like a wet carbon over the top, and then they'll put a resin on it. That's not 100% true carbon. Pretty sure there's only one other company out there for Harley-Davidson that's offering parts in this market that does the same manufacturing that we're doing, which is called pre-preg. We are creating molds specifically for each part, and then you use a pressure system essentially to bend that pre-preg carbon fiber into the shape that you want. After that process, that's where the CNC comes in, and it's going over and it's trimming all of the edges to be super clean and exactly OEM spec.
Not sharp, not fibrous.
Yeah. So a lot of manufacturers that you see out there, like all these edges and stuff, they'll be frayed. None of our edges are. It's just one of those like extra little things that we wanted to focus on to put quality into a part that you're purchasing.
That's actually a rolled edge.
You can see here, like that is carbon through and through. Finish the outside and we give it a clear. We also pay attention to the direction of the weave. For this one, it meets right in the middle, coming both directions
It's on the side, and then the top weave.
Yep.
And the same on the other side. For any of you out there that have bought carbon parts or are painters or are in the industry, you know when you get them, they're always chalky.
And on the fenders, we actually have the hardware built in, so you don't have to worry about...
Right, that's all...
Yeah,
webbed
it's all
in.
molded in.
Yeah.
We teamed up with a manufacturer that has been doing this for a long time, that is not in the motorcycle industry. They are in the supercar world, so we're not allowed to talk about what they do. I can say they make parts for some of the most expensive and the fastest supercars, formula cars in the world. We're gonna take all these parts and install them, remove the stock parts, and we're gonna do that weight comparison. Do me a favor, drop your guesses. How much weight do we drop off of this Road Glide? And whoever gets the closest, we're gonna send you some free stuff. If you guess the right number, or whoever guessed the closest, we're gonna send you guys a free Blockhead swag pack or something. In running order, the brand new Harley-Davidson Road Glide is 838 pounds, which is actually 16 pounds lighter than the previous models. We're gonna see how much more weight we can take off of this bike. Take a piece off, we're gonna put it on a scale, we're gonna compare them side by side, and then we'll do the difference afterwards and see how much weight we've saved. To start off, we're gonna be doing the front fairing. So replacing the OEM one with our Blockhead carbon one. Whenever you're working on the bike, you don't want to drop parts, so remove the front fender. 3 pounds, 12.2 ounces. Whew, that's crazy. I feel like it's gonna float away. Oh my God, catch it! Whew, that was a close one. 1 pound, 4.7 ounces. So now you're ready to start working on removing the front fairing. So you got streakiness on your bike like this? You see all this stuff? That's what this is for. It takes care of it. And it smells great. Did you look at that? Sheesh. All right, so next up, we're gonna show you guys how to do the windshield. Also super easy, 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is gonna be a T25. All right, so at this point you got your bolts removed. These little pieces are kind of like retainers, guides. There you go. All right, so it's zeroed out. 1 pound, 9 ounces. 9 ounces. Dropped a pound in just windshield. Crazy. Speaker covers.
Grab it from the bottom. You'll see it just wants to snap out on its own. And this one will be, you'll have 2 snaps and these little rubber clips on the bottom.
So grab your T25 and just start removing. So these bolts are not contained, just as a heads up. Don't do that and pull it off and lose them. Set it down so that they don't fall out. Under the speaker cover, you've got this one here. Moving further down the fairing, you've got these two here. Before you do this next part, be sure you remove your bolts with the air cleaner that we have on here. We're not able to get this guard out, so what we're gonna do is to not scratch stuff, we've removed the bolts, and we're just gonna drape this microfiber over here, kind of wander it back, and fold it over so that it doesn't scratch anything. It's good to go. Essentially, we're gonna remove those same bolts on the other side, and then we should be able to pop the fairing off.
This part's going to be a little tricky for some people. If you don't have strong fingernails, I recommend getting something that you can use. If you can put on the screen a plastic pry bar, you could use one of those. If you don't have one of those and you have a thick enough credit card, that sometimes can work as well. What you're going to want to do is access this seam. I'm going to use my fingernails and I'm going to push it forward. I can kind of work that forward on that side and the same on this side. Oh, and as you see, everything kind of just literally popped free. These clips go forward. They come in at this angle. Also, if this is in the upward position, it's probably going to get hung up. So my recommendation is to push that down so that can slide off, as you can see. Be aware that this tends to hop off, as you just saw. And from that point forward, you're going to have the rest of your screws and the fairing comes off. Bob John.
So removing hardware under that plastic covering piece, you're going to have one here, here, and here. We should have it pretty loose. Wow, this thing has some weight to it, I'll tell you that. It'll look best. All right, so we are gonna have to transfer this one over to the new one. We've got a couple bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're gonna also transfer over these little pieces here. So you've got the little wing nuts on the inner fairing parts. Do it this way, the fairing catches it. Haha. Ta-da! All right, so flathead screwdriver. Best way to get these things off. Going from the top, it'll compress that little piece. Gonna press it off. I'll just walk it right off. Boop. So this thing is pretty heavy. It's got some weight to it. All right, we're looking at, can you see that? Yep. 7 pounds, 10.8 ounces. And now for the carbon.
It's flying away.
Every time. It's
Got
crazy.
it. Damn.
3 pounds, 8.1 ounces. All right, so reinstalling hardware, start with the clip nuts, make sure they're facing the correct direction, like this, and then just push them on, and they clip on. Maybe that's why they're called clip nuts. All right, then we're gonna install the vent back onto the top. So Chris asked if we're sure if this has enough rigidity and strength, because on the stock fairing, this part right here, it's a thicker plastic. They have a lot more reinforcement here as well. For the stock plastic, it does require that extra reinforcement, if you will. But with this carbon, there is an instance, which unfortunately I can't exactly share because NDAs and shit, but there's an instance where a race application ran into a wall at over 100 miles an hour, and the carbon is totally fine. Rigidity. Seriously, the carbon was fine. All the hardware and shit, damn, I'm really trying to talk about this without giving too much away. So all the hardware, the lighting, other stuff around it, wrecked. But the carbon, totally fine.
I wish I had my socks on. Wish I had my socks on.
All right, we got everything bolted back up to it, all the hardware installed. All right, so we're just reinstalling our hardware loosely for now. And everything lines up perfect, like it was CNC cut or something. that precision. Loose at the moment, don't tighten anything down until we got all the hardware back in it, and then we'll tighten everything up. In the middle of installing the front fairing, and our neighbor Joel comes by. Joel is a person that, like, he goes ham on his builds. And the last build that he did, he had lots of carbon fiber on it. It wasn't Blockhead carbon because we weren't manufacturing it yet. Him coming over here, us putting this into his hands, what was your feedback?
Immediately, I could feel like a big weight difference, and just like the fit and finish, like the way that they get around all these edges and smooth them out. It looks like it's just carbon fiber, like there's no excess. On my other pieces, it feels like they just have like a lot of resin and like, you know, fiberglass. This is like pretty straight to the point. Just holding it, it just feels different, feels superior.
Not trying to just be salesman gimmicky. It's
absolutely,
I'm telling
like,
you, it's good shit.
Before he even handed it to me, I could just see a difference. I mean, I look at my bike all the time. I'm OCD, so I see like all the little imperfections, but I mean, this is a freaking home run.
Thanks, man.
That's an amazing piece. Congrats, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There you go. Like, totally, he just walked in here and he was like, whose carbon is this? And we're like, it's ours. And then he grabbed some, and we told him the backstory behind us, basically.
I feel bad for saying that now.
No, it's fine.
Almost like,
it's ours.
I shortchanged you guys.
Blockhead carbon.
Yeah, I love it.
Right in the middle of our how-to video. Appreciate the feedback, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, so after you've got your fairing loosely put up on here, you're gonna wanna tighten from the top down. So you're gonna start with this bolt here. You're gonna push in. As you push in, you're tightening down. Same with here, pushing in while tightening. And then you're gonna slowly follow this line here. You can do this bolt next. So while pushing in, tighten that one down. And you're gonna follow down here. This one's next. And then that one. So we're gonna do that same thing on this side, pushing in to get that nice snug fitment. Pro tip, carbon fiber it's rigid, right? Make sure if you have your bike on like your kickstand or something, so maybe like have a buddy like hold it so you don't push it over on accident. That's the last thing you wanna do, right? It's like you're installing some beautiful carbon onto your bike, you don't wanna push it over. So we have it in a lift, in a chalk, and it's not gonna go anywhere if I push on it. So yeah, as you're tightening, press in, tighten down. So after you've got the fairing nice and snugged, you're gonna go ahead and start putting everything back together. So put this little interior trim piece on there like that. You put the outer piece, attaches to the upper ubulus and clamps to the lower dorsimus. All right, tighten those down. Also, this piece that covers the vent.
There you go. Snap her in like that, walk away, Bob's your uncle.
Just gonna put that back on like so. Gonna go ahead and put your speaker covers back on.
There, snap that one in, snap that one in. If you notice, that stayed tight. Now it's tight all the way around.
Cool thing about our carbon fiber is that it's got the hardware already built in, just like your OEM stuff. So, no having to buy extra bracketry and all that.
Start all four before you do anything.
Torque amount is right before it breaks. Don't break it.
know,
Next up, the dash. So you're gonna want to take your seat off, which is, you still have the stock bolts, Torx.
This is a 5/32 Allen. I myself prefer to use a T25.
While you got it in your hands from using all the T25s on the fairing. This is a T27 though?
That is a T27. Now you gotta replace all your rubbers.
These little tank guard weather rubber seals. Woo!
Now you'll want to retain that to put on the same side because it's got a preformed shape.
Yeah, so that's right side.
Yeah.
So Chris is gonna go ahead and put that one on the right side while I get this left side off. Got the other one ready to go for you. We're gonna go ahead and take this rubber piece out, transfer that over to the new one. Okay, weight difference time. Stock Harley one. 1 pound, 7.1 ounces. We already put the rubber on it, so factor that in, but it's still stupid lightweight. We're looking at 8.8 ounces, which would probably drop another.
It's probably more like 0.6.
Yeah. you guys want to try to take this off, you're more than welcome. I think it's a very thin metal, right? And so chances are, if you try to get that off, you might bend it. I'm just gonna leave it clean on ours. All right, guys, I'm so sorry about this, but I'm gonna hand it over to Chris, who's over there dancing around right now. So the vibe is about to change. We're moving on to the back end of the bike. We're gonna show you guys how to install the Blockhead carbon fiber saddlebag lids. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna take all this hardware, the latches and everything out of your stock ones. Unless you wanna buy replacement hardware, we're gonna remove these. Chris is gonna show you how to do that. And then we're also gonna show you how to remove everything from the fender, put it over onto the new fender. What I have to do is I have to actually go grab some of these weather strips because those do not come out, they're not reusable. So I'm gonna run up to the local dealership, scoop some more of those real quick while I'm driving to the dealership and getting those. Chris is gonna take over. You guys do us a huge favor because we do try to get these out in a timely, like nicely packaged episode, just about rush hour. So I'm gonna spend a while in traffic. Hit that like button for us. We'd really, really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot, helps YouTube to recommend it to other people that might be interested in this. And on that note, here's Chris. Good luck.
All right. We're gonna do the fender first.
Okay.
And then we'll do the saddlebag lids. For those of you that are wondering how to operate these screws, if you notice, these are factory. Just turn them, lefty-loosey. So once you get them spinning, I use my thumbs, but you can do it however you want, whatever fingers you want, doesn't matter. You just unscrew it till it's loose. Once it's loose, it's gonna wanna fall. So don't let it fall. Step one on how to. We got a 3/8 here. We got a T40 here. If you have any hardware in here, like a detachable, a full-point docking hardware or whatnot, you're gonna have T45s inside of here. This one did have it, but it was taken off at one point, so there's nothing in those holes. You will need a T40 and a T45 back here. You'll need a 9/16 and a 1/2 inch. A wrench for the 1/2 inch, a socket for the 1/2 inch, wrench for the 9/16, and a socket for the 9/16, as well as the T45 and the T40. I'm going to disconnect my lights, and then this is going to remain here. There's two T40s under here that hold the actual fender. I would recommend cutting the zip ties here. Justin was just looking at this going, would you let it hang? I'm like, I don't think so. And the reason is because they have it wrapped around the shock, and the way it would hang, it would be too easy to kind of rub something or scratch something as you're trying to take that fender in and out. To make it easy, just get it out of the way. So the fender is attached by 4 bolts right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side. So we're gonna remove 1 and 2. Oh, look at that. Fender went, wow, look at that. That's how it's done. Throw them down on the ground. Get behind this guy, slide it down, slide it back and out, just like that. Keep your hand underneath to protect it so you don't drag it on the lifts or the concrete or wherever the hell you're doing it. And you just slide it out. Robert's your father's brother, whatever. Bob's your son, buddy. Okay. 3 bolts. 3 bolts. 3/4, 75 cents, right there, 3/4. Ready? Just pull it off. There. Twisty McGee. There's a connector under there. Interesting. Look at all the fancy things we're learning today, children. So, you're gonna unscrew that guy. And you'll keep this little reflector bent forward a little bit. And you can access this other T27. You can unscrew that one. It's got 2 little clippy doos on it. Squeeze that together, them little clips come out, and the whole piece falls out. Very nice. That's heavy. And then these little things, they're like stuck on with adhesive. So the best way I have found to remove those, slide a screwdriver in between and forcefully get them off of there. There. Jiminy Christmas. Like I said, they're not easy. Just get in there and manhandle it. How do I do? Turn this on?
Yes, sir.
Is it gonna 0 on its own?
Yep.
All right, money up. We got 612 pounds.
6
We got
pounds,
6
12
pounds,
ounces.
12.4 ounces. This has a screw in it, guys, but that's also made into the fender. Anybody wondering? So fender is
1 pound, 14.5 ounces.
That's a whole lot.
That's impressive.
That's impressive. Now we're gonna basically do what we did in reverse. Justin is interested to see how we're gonna make those re-stick. Is that correct?
No more stickiness on them.
What did I tell you? How was I gonna do it? I'll show you. Are you guys ready for this? It's magical. All right. There you go. They don't need to be stuck to anything. They're the posts that these mount to. And then when I tighten these up, that plate that's on the inside just gets smashed with this plate and the carbon in between. And what do we say around here? Robert's your brother's uncle. You didn't even catch that I did it wrong, did you?
I didn't.
You're just like, yeah.
I hear you say that all the time. To be fair, I've never heard those sayings ever in my life, regardless.
Really? Bob's your uncle is like a thing.
From like older people?
Australian.
Oh.
It's an Australian thing. It's like a New Zealand thing.
Oh. All of our Australian fans, please comment below.
Oh, they know.
Every Australian's like, Australian here, Bob is in fact my uncle.
Somebody in the comments explain to him and me, because I really don't understand like the true meaning of it, but I understood that it was used to say like, yep, you're done, that was easy.
I thought that was like some old like DeBerry saying.
No.
It feels like it.
Remember, what I'm doing, you don't do at home.
This is a how to not
This
video.
is a how to not exactly. This is a how to mimic with hand tools. Oh yeah, like that. Spiky tits.
A what?
Like those spiders with the spiky butts. Can you insert a picture?
Sure.
Thanks. So this is like a spiky tit. Like now that you see the difference.
I don't know. I haven't
If you
inserted the
don't-
picture yet, and I don't know if it's the same.
Oh, you're killing me. All right. Bob's your uncle. That's how you do a fender. At least that's how I do a fender install here.
So do you re-zip tie that shit, or
How about you just be patient? We're not there.
remember how you said?
You're like 5 steps ahead, bro. You just never stop. You just ask for too much. That's all I get from you. Did you do this? Did you do that? Is that done? I will zip tie. Are you happy?
Yes.
All right, so anyways, we got the rear fender on.
Here's the rear fender.
We remove these two that hold the tether. Once you remove the tether, be aware that this will contact the paint. So rather than scratching it, don't let this just flop, because it'll not only scratch the outer cover, but it'll scratch the paint behind it. Use your knee, put some tape or a towel or something in there. With that being said, we're gonna remove the T25s from the lid. After we've removed these other 3 screws from the lid, this will pull straight out. It'll have a little squared O-ring. This is a double lip O-ring. Just leave that on there. So you're gonna have 3 T15s that are holding this black face plate on. Once you take these off, everything's gonna come apart. This wants to come off. I'm gonna set that down. The lid will then separate from the shell. You're gonna wanna remove your clip nuts. You're gonna reinstall those in the new lid, then you'll set this aside, and you're gonna reverse the process.
Quick side note on clip nuts, remember how we showed you guys to remove them earlier with the flathead screwdriver, get under that little barb that goes into the hole. Whenever you reinstall them onto the bag, make sure you're installing them in the same orientation as you took them off. So one of them basically clips in from like the top angle, the other 2 clip in from the side angle. Make sure you make note of that whenever you're transferring them from your stock OEM bag lid to the new Blockhead carbon ones. All right, so OEM bag lid, we're gonna go ahead and measure this, see what the weight is. we're looking at 2 pound, 5.9 ounce. So this one still has the weather stripping in it. Carbon fiber one also has the weather stripping. So with the heads up, fair comparison, you're looking at 1 pound, 13.3 ounce. There you go, that is our Blockhead carbon installation for front fairing, fender, dash, bag lids, rear fender. I think that covers it for now. Like I said, we do have more parts currently in the works. We wanted to go ahead and make this video for you guys so that we could get it out. Incoming carbon that we have that you did not see in this video, we've got carbon side covers, we've got carbon bags. The bags have been a bit of a challenge, but we'll talk about that whenever we get there. This is just the start of it. So I hope you guys are really able to see the quality of it as we're going through the install. The fit, the finish. This is just like a gloss clear coat, but we do offer it in flat as well if you want that flat or matte look. Or if you're gonna be painting it and you just want it raw, we can do that as well. Justin, what's our total weight loss?
All right, guys, so the total weight loss of the bike with all the carbon versus the stock stuff that we took off is...
Like I said, if you guys do have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. I'll be sure to drop a link directly to the stuff in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Until next time, ride safe, stay vigilant. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.